Showtime,
We
sis.
are live.
We are
Hello,
live, or are
Philippines
we? Let me check.
universe. We are live.
We are live.
Oh,
Okay. Hey,
great.
everyone. Welcome to Wisdom Talks. I am Sheila Zoe. Many of us are taken by surprise when COVID 19 shut down everything and locked us all up in our own homes. I'm sure many of you lost their jobs. How are you coping up with everything monetary wise when bills continue to pile up even as we speak? With me today is my good friend Joseph Librero to tell you his own breakthrough in the midst of this pandemic. Hi, Jo.
Hi, Sheila. Hi, Wonder Woman Academy and Sheila's fans from all around the world. How are you?
Crazy.
yeah.
Let me see. Mm.
Yeah. So yeah. Good morning to the people from our side of the world, and of course, good evening to everyone who is like the other side. I would say. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Sheila. Thank you for inviting me to be here, and I really appreciate that you're you're doing this for movement makers, content creators, influencers
Mhm.
around the world. Thank you.
You're welcome. I would like for you to introduce yourself a little bit to our audience. Let them know who you are. Of course, a lot of them already know who you are because you're that famous. Come on, Jo.
All
Tell
right.
them who you are.
So my name is Joseph, and I'm um, I'm the founder of Adsphoria Digital Agency, and basically Adsphoria now serves because of the pandemic, we're now serving people from different parts of the globe, and this is something that's really unprecedented, Sheila. And I know like there are people who are wondering like what do they need to do in this pandemic, but like for us, we're kind of blessed to really just find that answer right on. By the way, so more information about me. I'm a co-host of a online group. It's called 9 to 5 Entrepreneurs, and so I put there on my name the URL so you can find more about what we're gonna talk about later.
Yes. Mhm. Yes, awesome. So, Ja, the title of our talk today is trans the power of personal transformation in the midst of this pandemic. Why don't you tell everybody what you were doing before pandemic happened?
Right. So before the pandemic happened, I was actually operating a business that I've been operating for the past 3 years as a hospitality business. And
Mm,
one of the things that happened when all this started, I think around January, I already felt the pangs of it because, certain travel restrictions. And every time there's a travel restriction from one country, I would feel it because I'm basically on the upfront, one of the industry on the upfront of what's going to be affected. And it's funny, Sheila, because like last year, me and my wife Joyce were both like co-operators and co-owners of this hospitality business. We're already projecting like, oh, 2020 is gonna be something that we're already planning basically our expansion. And like when January happened, it's like, wait a minute, this is not like up to par with what like we're expecting. And when we heard about this virus that's coming, I'm thinking like maybe it will not reach here in the Philippines. Like maybe like what happened to SARS. I think it was like 2008 or something. What happened to SARS? It would probably not is not gonna be that bad. And then I listened to the news further, and I'm thinking like, oh, and then I'm seeing also like the sales. It's not up to par because usually our first half is one of the strongest of the year, and so like in the very beginning of the first half, I'm already seeing like slightly below average sales. And so I'm already thinking like, what is happening? And every time there's travel restriction, um, I would feel that our sales would get affected. I get cancellations everywhere. But back in March 15, the president of the country said we're gonna close the capital, and that's already like the sign for me. Like, okay, things are gonna shift now, and I don't know what it means for me, my family, and my business. And so what I did was I already created a plan. I moved my family out of the city, but more importantly, I was already preparing my heart because I know something is gonna happen. I have this feeling that something is gonna happen, and indeed, on March 18, I have totally closed the business, like temporarily, until further notice. I don't know how soon it will reopen, but we have to close. What it's very painful to talk to my staff of what's gonna happen, and to talk to the landlords that I'm working with, for this on this business, that we're not gonna have sales, and I don't know when this will happen. Up until when this will happen, when are we gonna come back? It's one of the things that's very painful, because you see, Sheila, I poured my heart and soul on the past 3 years in this business, and to it's like closing something that you don't want to go away. And that's when I started thinking about the future, because I'm thinking, like, when will the pandemic, if the pandemic will go on 3 4 5 months or more. And indeed, now we're like, what, already 60, more than 60 days in, right?
Mm.
So I'm already thinking, like, it was tough fate. So I'm thinking, like, um it was like one of the most difficult I did in the past 3 years. Like, opening a business is very exciting, but closing something like this is like, it's very disheartening. And so
Mm.
but I have to think about this. Like, okay, if this will go on, like, and my family is counting on me. Definitely, like, a lot of people are counting on me to really do something. I realized,
Mm.
like, I have to change strategy. People were talking about pivot back then, and I was thinking, like, if I will pivot, what will what will happen? And yes, and I have to think about, like, right now, even right now, Faith, even right now, I'm still thinking about, like, how can I position other people, like, especially people who are connected to me in the business, so that I can give them opportunity, to really, earn, especially at this time. And so what I was thinking was, I have to do something. And back then, I remember, Sheila, I told myself, like, I'm gonna go into what's called a 30-day transformation challenge. And the reason why I said that is because that I know for a fact that my current mindset will not survive the pandemic. My current mindset will not be able to build a business for myself and for my family. So I have
Yes.
to transform myself. I have to transform my way of thinking. I have to be willing.
Mm.
I like how Lisa Nichols said it. She said it. I have to be willing to let what's current die, so that a new me will emerge. And that's exactly, I
Mm.
don't know if I murdered that that quotation, but basically, like, that's essentially what she's saying. Like, you let this current thing, which is your
Mm.
old self, die, so that a new person will emerge, that
Mm.
will eventually become the person, the leader that you need to be in this pandemic. And I don't know where you are right now. I don't know, you're listening to me right now. I don't know how you are financially, spiritually, physically. I don't know what you need right now, but I'm pretty sure that if you want to go into the next level, we want to go and, be the leader that's needed right now by your family, your friends, and by yourself. You need to allow transformation. You need to allow to be open to
Mm.
personal transformation. And exactly what I was thinking, Sheila. I was thinking, like, I have to not make excuses anymore. I have to
Mm.
make sure that every single day will matter. And that's the reason why I said, like, in the next 30 days, no matter how I feel, if I feel happy, sad, down, or whatever, I cannot allow myself to get, like, basically blown away by, like, negative feelings, for example. Yes, next level. That's right, Katsi. Next level. That's the next level of thinking is required to your transformation. You have there.
Mm.
I really love it, Sheila. Like, when the scripture would talk about the renewing of your mind, not being, conformed with the patterns. You see, like, when the pandemic was announced, there was already a pattern going on, and then I noticed the pattern because I've seen this pattern. When I studied change management, back then, we were taught that, like, every time there is something major that will happen in anyone's life, they will go through what's called a change curve, where it starts with
Mm.
shock, denial, blaming, doubt,
Mm.
and then you move from doubt. If you move past that, you go to acceptance, and you're able to move forward. When you say move forward, that's when you become a vector, not just not a victim. And so this is the power of understanding this, because I want you to I want people who are listening to this 10 people who are joining us in the live right now, I want you to understand this. There is already a pattern, and the scripture says that you cannot conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And it's very important to understand this, that like once you realize like, oh my goodness, everybody is in the blame game now, everybody is like in fear game now, everybody is worried, everybody is swept away by fear and worry and anxiety. And but you know what, you don't have to. You're a believer, you're a child of God, you're a son and daughter of God. And so therefore the scripture says that you are above principalities and power. And this is what I was thinking about, like, you know what, it has to there has to be something that I can, do. And this is what I said, like, I need to go through like a 30-day challenge and a 30-day transformation process. Okay, so that's the reason why I actually went made past the 30 days, and now I'm in a 90-day challenge. And so I'm gonna go a little bit farther with this one. Yes, that's right. We rule with Jesus at the Father's right hand. That's right, Katsi. So this is something that I would like to share to all of you guys. I actually wrote down. What I should be doing in the next 30 days, what I should be investing in the next 30 days. Because I know for a fact, like I was looking at, it's really interesting what we did, me and my wife Joyce. And the thing with me and my wife Joyce, we're really like in tandem with each other, because like um, whenever I'm, whenever I whenever I'm the one who's like, okay, let's get dreamy, and let's have visions and dreams. And Joyce would say, oh, let's get practical. And that balance basically completes the cycle. And whenever she gets practical, I said, like, let's push further and risk things. And that's the power of being, being in a couple. For example, your husband and wives, there's power there. And one of the things I learned later early on in our relationship is that God speaks through her also, and so I should listen to her. And so that's the thing. Like when the pandemic happened, we sat down and we started brainstorming. I said, like, sweetie, these are the business that we can start right now. These are the business that will not be affected by the pandemic. And then let me tell you, like, a lot of those things I was talking, Sheila, about the things that I thought like will not be affected by the pandemic. A lot of them were actually affected by the pandemic. Meaning to say, they're not going to be, it's going to be impossible for them to exist because of the social distancing and the lockdown, the travel restrictions. So we have to sorry, you have to step back and really imagine, like, okay, how can we basically build a business here? And then the other thing that we do is, like, once we secure something and we start something, then we can start something else that would help, like, everyone else in basically our employees. And so one of the things that we zoom in right away is we look at the market and we look at our skills, and we realize, like, one of the things that we realized, Sheila, was this. We've been running like Facebook ads for our own company. We've been doing like advertising, and we've been doing basically anything online, like, because in our business before, the hospitality management business, it was probably 25% online, 75% like physical, right? So 25% of that is basically marketing and how we manage our kind of our online partners. And we said, like, we actually had a good deal of building this. So I'm wondering, like, if there are other people, that are going to need this, right? And then true enough, we started testing it. And let me just say this, like, if you want to start a business right now in the middle of the pandemic, start with where you are, and start with the people who you can serve right away. And that's exactly what I did. What I did was I just served for like a couple of weeks, until the point that the person that I served said, I've decided to just pay you because you've done a lot for me. And
Mm.
then that's when I know, like, oh, this particular service, uh, this particular work is actually monetizable, or there's such a term. So I can actually monetize from it. And so that's when I started like building the agency. And I actually was forced to build the agency because I have paying clients already, and I feel like I'm ashamed to I'm ashamed to not have a brand, and then I'm already servicing them. So I actually did that, and then that's when I realized, like, oh, it's just the business kind of mechanics came in. But it all started with a decision, and that decision is to go forward in what's called a 30-day to a 90-day challenge or transformation challenge.
Mm.
Long answer, but I hope you get something out there.
Yeah. So I remember during it was also a very crucial moment in my life before when I saw this quote that really hit me hard. Like, I kept that quote in my mind. At that time, I could not buy a book. So I have to memorize it in National Bookstore. I was staring at the book for a long time, and it actually said, if you want to be a caterpillar, you have to be willing to let go of being a caterpillar. No. If you want to be a butterfly, you have to be willing to let go of being a caterpillar. So I think this really applies to what you are talking about right now. So we want to hear what the 90 day plan is. How are we going to go about it? Or we can do that later, but I'm going to ask you, what do you think social media, what kind of role social media is going to play in this new normal, business wise and life in general?
So it's very that's a very good question, Sheila, because right now I've been just locally, okay, and this never happened before. Like, I can understand why people would need my service outside the country, because the people, for example, in the States, they're kind of used to this, and their business is already integrated to social media and online presence. Here in the Philippines, it's always solid cash, and then basically just just face to face business. But then I've been contacted by one of the one of the, I would say, very influential, like, insurance company, and they called me and they said, like, Joseph, I need help. We need help, basically, because, like, this is something that we've never done before. We've dominated the market from a, like, word of mouth and face to face presentation, but we've never done this before, where we could not move out of our house and we have to generate funds and we have to generate business right away. And
Mm.
people are recognizing that it's no longer optional to have an online presence. Like, I some of these people, Sheila, they have zero online presence, and they're millionaires. Zero online presence, and yet they're millionaires. But the thing is, they they know that if they don't evolve, like, they will not have that same result, because it's a totally different world. All right, this is a totally different world. And there's for a couple of weeks now, I've been asked to jump to like one of the local business channels here, to teach them basic social media. Right? So that is very weird, because people would used to think that, well, as long as I have my contact, as long as I have my usual contact, I'm gonna be fine, right? But then this is a totally different world, where you don't have to you cannot meet people, and therefore you're forced to do things like this. You're forced to speak in front of people you don't know through, like different channels. And I remember, Sheila, like, when you and I we first joined 100x, and we're kind of practicing how to be how is it to speak online. And for people who don't know what 100x is, you can ask Sheila more about it. But we're kind of practicing how to do a really efficient live, how to do a good content, basically, and how to write offers and things like that. And back then,
Let me
people,
cut you.
go
Sorry,
ahead.
yeah, I'm gonna just cut you there. we have masterminds, Joseph and I, together with our friend Jake and Chappie. Chappie is also in 100x, but Jake is already a millionaire, so he doesn't need to be there. But so here's the thing: they have been trying to convince me since day one, like for 2 years, to go live. Like, to not really live, but take a video of myself because I have a lot of content. And my goodness, every time I would always feel so there's the imposter syndrome. There's the, what do you call this? Because people will think, oh, she's used to it. So they don't know my struggle, they have to, this is one thing that you have to know. They have been trying to convince me for 2 years to have a video of myself and speak in front. And I have so many excuses, like, oh, I don't want to be there, I'm fat, and then things like, oh, I always say so it's I want to, but I can't. There were so many things that I was thinking about, like just feeling the imposter syndrome. And many of you know, I just want to tell them our struggle, I don't know if it's struggle or something, but Joseph and I, we have a company together. It's Zoe Tours and
Yep.
Experiences in Cebu. So we are actually, that closed down, it closed during the pandemic. And we didn't even have to say, hey, what happened to our company? We just automatically, okay, yeah, that's closed. So a lot of people may be thinking, oh, they have it all together, but no, we didn't. We had businesses that got closed. And so here we are right now trying to uh navigate ourselves into, you have to adopt, adaptability is very important, and you have to evolve. So this is where, right now, if you are listening, and if you will be on the replay later, please understand that we are having this talk to help you, to also instill in your mind. Social media is now very, very important, guys. Come on, even Nas Daily is having his own course for taking a video of yourself for $699. Go ahead, Joe.
Awesome.
Sorry.
That is so true. Like, I still remember, like, this is what I'm trying to say, Sheila. Like, when you and I were still like practicing, people would look at us as weird, because like people are not used to, especially in our side of the world, people are not used to popping up online and just going live and just talk about something that we think is valuable to other people. And now I'm telling people that I'm telling like insurance agents and telling business people, like, hey, once in a while, guys, go live and talk about your business. Once in a while, get invited, and you basically build these strings, build this relationship online. Yeah, that is true, Katsi. Like, it's no longer an option not to have an online presence. We are in a totally new world. Yes, that's right, Faith. So that's exactly what we need to be in, and this is the reason why, like when our agency we started our agency, we didn't realize this, actually, and then later on we found out more that, oh, many people, actually, even here locally, they're not thinking like, maybe we should have, imagine this, like they still don't have their Facebook page, and if they do even have their Facebook page, they're still thinking, should we go and have our own website, like, right? And so this is what I said yesterday, and these are like thousands of people are watching in this channel, right? And I said like this: if you think your product has a potential to have users or buyers online outside the Philippines, then you should have your own website, because that will essentially, magnify your scope, and magnify, your reach to the people that you're serving. And so that's right, MJ. It's very important to learn new skills in ads and marketing. And so that's exactly what we do in terms of, the agency side of things. But more than that, Sheila, I really like to, I understand that there are people out there who's watching here live, or gonna watch the replay, and they're looking for answers on what to do in this time, because we're now 60 plus days since basically the lockdown happened, right? And so again, like, for sure there are people who are asking, like, what can I do? And maybe this is the best time for you guys to really do something and start something. And the reason why is this: maybe like in the change curve, you're already in a place where you've now accepted that this is the situation now. And like maybe we will rarely, because before we used to do what's we used to do like shake hands, handshakes, right? And then beso beso. What's
Mm.
English for beso beso? She That's Spanish. But
Mm,
you
I
kiss
don't
the
know.
cheek, right?
Yes, yeah.
um
Hmm.
but maybe we'll never do that again. It will never
Yeah.
be a thing. So
Now
now,
they're introducing
yeah,
a new way of greeting each other. It's like bowing, something like
yeah.
that,
So
like
now
the
we can
Japanese does.
we do
Mm-hmm.
bows now, and maybe it's more
Mm-hmm.
hygienic to do bows instead of
I'm a hugger, so I
shaking hands.
love to hug people.
That's
Mm-hmm.
true. Like, and this is kind of a new way and a new world. So we have to really evolve, and this is why I want to introduce you to what's called you know a 90-day transformation challenge. And basically, this is a very I would say flexible framework that whether you want to start a new business, but this really works well if you want to start a new business. But whether you're not or you're starting a new business, this will work. And what
Mm-hmm.
essentially is it does it creates focus. One is focus on what you need to do, like focus on your goal, and at the same time focus on what you need to do. Because one of the things that we know what's that setting goals is important, right? We know that. But the thing is, we usually the we don't track anything outside of setting goals. Now, and therefore we kind of get off the rail, like when it comes to implementation. And that's something, Sheila, that I know like I have the tendency to do. So I jump into my Google Drive and created for
Mm-hmm.
myself like, oh, this is gonna be my goal. These are the things that I need to do in a day-to-day basis. Like one of the things is I have what's called a foundational goal. And one of the foundational things, like I have to run or walk in the morning for 5 kilometers. I have to listen to sermons. I have to meditate. I have to pray. And it's not like I
Mm-hmm.
have to do these things because God is gonna be angry if I'm not gonna do these things, right? I have to do these things because it keeps me healthy.
You just really have to do that. You're so tempted to do that. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Mm.
the reason why I said is because there are a lot of people who say like, why should I pray? Why should I read the scripture? All these things.
Uh-huh.
But one of the before, guys, let me just give you a little bit background of where I am from a faith perspective. I used to believe that I have to do things like this so that I can get blessings from God. And if I don't do these things, I don't get blessings. And that's what's old mentality. That's old me
Mm.
like 10, 15 years ago, right? But the new me now understands this, that this is what that's the new me understands. These things I need to do so that it can set my mind and heart in the right place. Not really, when I say in the right place, it allows me to, come to a place of rest, allows me to come to a place of, um, what goes with you still work, but you're kind of your foundation is rest and love and mercy. And that's exactly what I meant with like the foundational thing. So, and the other thing is, in this particular worksheet, I note there like what are the projects and what are the things we call that like financial goals or revenue goals. So you should also set revenue goals, and then you should also set non-revenue goals that basically supports your revenue goals. And
Mm.
can I show the sheet now? Sheet.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Okay. Let me bring it up.
Okay.
Where is it? Give me a second. So yeah. So
Hi
I was.
everyone. Hi to everyone who is watching us.
Yeah.
Faith,
Go ahead.
Miriam, Katsi, thank you for being here.
Thank you,
Um,
Katsi.
where's your share?
Give me a second. I'm preparing it because I didn't have it ready. There you go. Can you see my
You
screen?
have so many. You have so many. What do you call this? Opened. What do you call that?
Yeah. I have to actually restart. my laptop before going to the call because I don't want it to lag uh,
Yeah.
to lag just because I have so many things open. Anyway, so this is like, if you can see in my screen now, like I have the, if you look down here, there's the foundational tab, right? And under the foundational tab, yeah, that's open tabs, Faith. So under the foundational tab, I want you to, basically this one is just sample, but one of the things I do is like, these are core activities. For example, like prayer is a core activity, exercise or running for me is a core activity, reading for like 30 minutes is a core activity, and deep breathing, calm yourself down, and family time and time with spouse. So basically this core activity will, I call this the living in the quadrant two. Yeah, that's good, Katsi, right? Quadrant two activity. What do you mean by quadrant two? If you're familiar with Stephen Covey's quadrants, 4 quadrants, the quadrant two activities are essentially things that are important but not urgent. Okay, these are important things. These are things that feeds your soul. These are things that rejuvenates your mind. These are things that tunes in your spirit. These are things that grows your inner man. Okay, and then here are revenue goals. So depending on what you want to do, you have revenue goals. You write these things down. And I love it that people are actually being taught how to write down in their journals. But I want to add to that, you should write your goals down. And sometimes it's so much pressure to write a goal because you might have a feeling that it will not come true. But this is not a wish goal. This is a revenue goal. So look at what are the things that I need to set up so that it can support, like it can provide revenue for me. So for example, there are also other things like the non-revenue goals. Like the non-revenue goals are basically something that will not give you revenue right away, but it does support your revenue goal. So maybe like when you build a website or building a Facebook page or building a podcast, these are things that enhances your branding and later on supports your revenue goals. So these are just, really quick kind of things that you need to zoom in, and you don't have to write a lot of these things. Okay, so for me there should be very less kind of non-revenue and revenue goals. Yes. Okay, to answer your question, Faith, Faith is asking, can I share the template with short info guides? Okay, so the template is actually in the website. It's 9 to 5 entrepreneurs slash 90 day, 9 to 5 entrepreneurs slash 90 day. Okay, so now this is very important. And to me, I've never done this before, Sheila, but there's what I did. I said to myself, like, okay, so I'm going to have an income goal, right? Or income and a revenue goal. And I have to chop them down to the nitty gritty. Okay. So what I did is now this is something, guys, I want you to understand. This is something I use myself. I didn't like I didn't just create this like out of just really easy. I mean, I have to really think about this, and this is something I use myself. And basically what I did was I did a 12-month plan. So again, I know that challenge is 90 days, but I still went further. I said, like, for the next 12 months I want to record my 12-month revenue. And so you can see here, this is like months. This is the actual month. So I just started here for June. And the reason why, because you might want to start this tomorrow, okay? So today is the 31st. And then what's that target? So I want you to do per month, do a monthly target. And one of the things I would like to do to advise here is this has to be increasing. So for example, let's just say 1,000, and then the next one is 2,000, 4,000. There has to be an increase so that it keeps you moving. And for example, if your goal is like 1,000 extra income, right? You have to break it down to a weekly target. So that's $250 per week. And then you have to from the revenue goals, you have to support it with different streams. Okay, I place here like 4 possible streams. What is it? Like, do you have like So if you're working your own 9 to 5, I suggest you don't put your 9 to 5 as a revenue stream, because this is actually designed to create and make sure that the revenue streams are documented, because sometimes we do a side business and we don't really track the numbers. And one of the things I learned, you know, before was really the importance of tracking the different income streams. Okay, so like maybe your first income stream is like maybe like one of your online business or affiliate marketing, or maybe you build a new business, like I think logistics is going to be a big thing anywhere in the world. So why don't maybe you want to build a new logistics company, right? And then for June, I would like that you will record the actual income from that. Okay, record the actual income. So you have your target and you have your actual. And the reason why you want to do this is because you want to make sure that you know from different income stream which income stream is performing. So if you only have one income stream, it's gonna be so difficult to hit a big target. You have to divide it, and this one will actually force you to work with other people, to hire people. You have a question, She?
No, I'm just listening to you.
Continue. Okay. So this is the
You
format.
continue.
Okay. So think about different income streams. So if you look at your foundational and revenue goals, these are actually income streams that you will be creating. Okay. This will force you. I'm already like opening your mind that there's going to be more than one income stream. Right. Just by putting it here, I'm already opening your mind. Like people who are listening to this or watching this, that there's going to be more than, you need to have more than one income stream. And the reason for that is this: if you have a big target, you in USD, then you need to divide it per income stream, and you need to test which particular income stream is getting you X amount of dollars back. Okay. All right. So now this is our 12-month revenue goal. It's also revenue goal, but at the same time, it's recording the actual. I cannot click that, which means so now here's the other thing. This is called income monitoring. So okay, cash flow monitoring. So this is very basic. Just put the date. What is it? Where is it coming from? And then like basically what you can put notes, and then how much is income coming in, and then expenses, and then you all should always have running balances. Okay, and this is something. So when I say expense, they should be expense of the business. Okay, so if you have a 9 to 5, income, you should keep it separate. The goal here really is to create like new income streams that will generate more money for you. Okay, so this like to me, for example, so when I did this, what I did was, okay, I listed down like 4 or 5 income streams, and then I look at like which one is the top performer, right? And I put more time on the top performer. Okay, so these are like horses that runs, and every time they run, and the faster they run, they actually make more for you. So you monitor that, you know that like, oh, this particular income stream is actually getting more money. But also at the same time, one of the things that we don't usually uh, track are the expenses. So for example, if you need to procure or buy things, for the business, you really have to track it down. This is basically cash flow for your new income stream. Okay, and I really like this because if you will not measure this, then it's going to be so difficult for you to move forward. I believe you're multitasking in doing these things. Okay, so I'm not multitasking. Like I said, when I talk about income streams, you have to think differently. You have to think about like who are the people I can work with so that this particular income stream will perform. Because I don't set alarm to every business, but here's the thing. To answer your question, MJ, this is it. I track my daily activities. So you see, if for example, If, for example, if income stream one is getting more revenue, right? You, it should reflect your daily activities. And this is the power of the 30-day challenge. And this is what I realized when I went to a 30-day challenge. I realized that your daily schedule will reflect your priority. Your obvious, it is obvious, right? Your daily schedule will reflect your priority. So therefore, if you think your priority is building an income and building on pursuing your revenue goals, it should reflect your daily activity. So like, for example, like I place here, foundational things like meditation, 10 minutes, checking of weight. Ching! This is an idea for you guys. If you want, to be healthy, make sure you have a weighing scale and you check your weight every single day. Okay, step on the weighing scale and then check. Family time, and then now, like if you're training for a new skills, for example, like related to your revenue goals, then you should put it there. Okay, and then if you're like having like calls with someone, so this is what I did. Like whenever I have a client call, I would say client call, Mr. someone, and then I would say like these are the things that I would even put there, like things that we agreed on, right? What he needs, and so on and so forth. And this is just simple documentation, Sheila. These are simple documentation, but the power of this is this: once you move to the next day and the next day and the next day, you become more and more efficient. Why is that? Because what you did the day before, like the efficiency that in terms of efficiency, you will see that right in like one page. Okay, so your daily thing. So if you want to build, like if you want something to really earn, like maybe you have a project, then it should reflect here. You should be working on it like on a day-to-day basis. So like from here, because you're learning from a day-to-day, then you will definitely see a high level of progress. Okay, so yeah, and MJ, I don't know if I've answered your question, but that's how I deal with this. Like when the other thing also, MJ, is this: my stream one and stream two are very close to each other. Like right now at this point, stream one and stream two for me are all online, and therefore I don't really have to move seats. I just need to move tabs. so so just to move websites, right? But I'm in the process now of building stream 4, or I think it's stream 5 now, with someone, with someone, and I'm coaching that person. So how can I, so that I can build like stream 5, stream 6. One of the inspirations I've gotten is from our friend Jake, Sheila, our common friend Jake, and one of the things he said was this: you have to what do you call this, build multiple streams, and like you have to build multiple streams. And in fact, he suggested like 12 streams. So 12 streams basically is going to take your time, and so you have to think differently in terms of productivity. You have to learn how to achieve through other people, and you have to learn how to work with other people, and you have to learn how to collaborate, basically. And so that's kind of a change of mindset. But like if there's anything that I've learned, like let me just share you this. One of the things that, like maybe like one of the major, to quote our Miss Universe contestant, no? One of the major things I learned is to never have like to never be caught in one stream of income. And that's basing from that's the reason why I'm sharing this 90-day template, so that you can download it and work on it. So again, you just go to this name right here, 9to5entrepreneurs.com/90day, and it will lead you. And I'm just asking for your email, and then it will lead you to. Oh, actually, I'm not asking. I remember. So I'm not asking. It will just lead you to right straight to the page.
So if there is one advice you can give to people who wants to thrive in this new normal, what would it be?
All right. So that's a very good question, and to me, it's many things, right? But for me, if I'm gonna go with like the most essential thing, it is to learn, multiple skills and focus. Like, and learn focus, learn how to basically work with your own frame, so that you can learn how to channel your energy on a single day. And this is, to me, this sheet that I'm sharing you will teach you how to focus, will teach you how to every single day, like, monitor your task. The other thing I would like to share, if you need help with accountability, if you need help, if you have problem following through, and if you have some cash, hire a coach. Hire Sheila,
Mm,
hire me. That's
yes.
true. Like, because sometimes we just,
Mm,
like, we want to do it on our own, but the reality is we don't have the ability to focus, and it
yes.
takes an
I think
accountability
most.
to, yeah, someone to make us
I'm sorry,
accountable.
Joe.
Go ahead.
Yes, I think most people actually, if you want to be successful, this is one thing that I can say. If you want to be successful, you need a coach. You cannot do it on your own because coaches is like like an elevator to where you want to go. They have already been there and they already have the skill set that you need for you to advance. And a lot of people are just doing life like, okay, but you have to have a coach, and other things is you have to be a learner. You have to learn every single day.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
I'm
my
not just
take
saying
on
this,
that.
Sheila, and I'm not just, and are not just saying this primarily because we're coaching people, and we want to take
Mm.
people's money. Like, both Sheila and I, we actually pay coach to people to coach and mentor us, right? So, like, we're part of 100X.
Yes,
I'm
we
part
pay
of,
thousands of dollars for people to coach us.
yeah, it's more, so, yeah, so we paid, yeah, we paid money so people would coach us and mentor us. So, like, Sheila is part of 100X, and, like, I don't know if you're still part of Emerging Profits. I'm part of, like, 100X, and at the same time, I'm also part of
I'm part of
Dream.
Emerging Profits.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you're part of the Emerging Profits. So that's the reason why, like, you we I didn't just say this because, like, oh, you hire us. It's not like, that's not the intention. The intention, we like, basically, whatever I say, I always apply. Oh, well, I always follow my own advice, and I always eat my own
Hmm.
recipe, and my own, cooking. So,
Good.
guys, I hope that is going to help you, because it really helped me become more focused, and at the same time, it also helped me, Sheila, from just doing this extracurricular things, like, surfing your social media, and just basically, what do you call this, end up wasting like 3 hours in the day just replying to
Hmm.
those things, watching all the
Yes,
TikTok
yes.
videos that you need, like, all these things, right? So, yeah, once you're focused, you realize, like, oh, I gotta work on this. And
Yeah.
lastly, guys,
Hmm.
if you haven't watched Last Dance, Netflix is not paying me this on this one, but if you haven't watched Last Dance, it's a really good watch. It's a really good show to watch. And the reason why is because there you will find, like, how champions think, how champions
Hmm.
process information, and how champions commit to make it happen. And so, I think
Hmm.
that's what we need. I think that's what we need, the commitment to make things happen.
I think I need to watch that because right now I'm trying to relax my brain and I'm watching an anime. So
That's good too. That's good too. That's good too,
I'm
because
trying to
sometimes we do
relax
need
because
that.
I'm my personality is like I'm obsessed when I want to do something. I get so obsessed by it and I cannot let it go. So I try to have something to relax my brain because like even if I want to like I want to really watch, I don't want to get into heavy drama, so I want cartoons right now. But I'm gonna watch Last Dance like I promise you.
Yeah.
So we are going to close this live right now. Anything else you wanted to say? Make it so brief because we're already past the time.
Ari, I thought we were a 1 hour show.
No, I told you it's 30 minutes running
Oh, really? Oh
time.
my goodness. That's why I was
Yes.
like blubbering here. But yeah, just go to 9to5entrepreneurs.com/90day. I did offer my 1 hour coaching if you want to go through and get a customized coaching for this particular template. It's
Mm.
only 97. $97 for an
Mm.
hour, and it's gonna be worth your while.
Mm. Okay, thank you so much, Joe, for being here in Wisdom Talks.
Thank you,
It's been
Sheila.
an honor to be your friend for 10 years.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, we're been for 10 years. Oh my goodness. Time
And
flies.
guys, you know how he started? He just asked for my number like a boss. Like, no, we were in another website. It
Grace
was
Hope.
for Grace people, Grace Hope. It was for the Joseph Prince people. Like, we are Joseph Prince kids,
Yeah, we're
virtual
just a
kids,
friends.
and he doesn't even know it. So
So happy.
Joe was there. He was reading my post, and he was like, "Hey, I have a Bible study here. Do you want to meet in Ayala?" And I said, "Yeah, of course." And that was the beginning of everything. So thank you so much for watching us, Chappie, Faith, Miriam, people who are commenting, Katsy. We love you, everybody. These are really good friends of us.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Wisdom Talks. You are spectacular. Bye.
Bye bye.